Research shows us that resistance typically falls into one of four core categories. And as we go through these, I want you to listen for these on your own teams. First, there is the fear of the unknown. When you announce a change, you might see the complete picture, but your team members often do not. They're wondering, will I still be good at my job? Will my role become obsolete? Will I have to learn completely new skills? This one right there is particularly acute among your top performers, the people who have absolutely mastered the current process or current system and built their identity around being excellent at it. The second category is loss of control. Change is often imposed from above, and that strips people of their autonomy. Even if the change is objectively positive, the feeling of being done to rather than being done with creates resistance. I've seen teams reject innovations that they themselves proposed not 6 months earlier, simply because the final decision came from leadership without their involvement. The third is concerns about competence. This one's tough because people rarely voice it directly. They're worried that they won't be able to adapt, that they'll look foolish during the learning curve, or that younger team members will pick up the new way faster. I once worked with a veteran manager who fought a new project management system tooth and nail. It wasn't until a private conversation weeks later that he admitted that he was intimidated by the new technology and afraid of looking incompetent in front of his team. And the fourth is disagreement with the change itself. Sometimes your team members have legitimate concerns about whether this change is the right move. They will see risks that you haven't considered, or they understand customer needs that you may have missed from your vantage point. This is actually the most valuable form of resistance because it can save you from making costly mistakes. So here's the critical insight that you need to diagnose which type of resistance that you're dealing with, because each requires a different type of response. Treating fear of the unknown the same way that you treat legitimate strategic disagreement will backfire every time. So, how do you diagnose it? If you have to create safe spaces for honest conversation, and I mean really safe, not the kind of safe where you say, my door is always open, when your people know that disagreement with management or perhaps with you is career limiting or career threatening. So try this in your next one on one with someone who is resisting. Ask them these three questions. Question number one: what concerns do you have about this change? Number two: what would need to be different for you to feel more comfortable? And number three: what am I missing? Then, and this is critical, listen. Actually listen. Don't defend, don't explain, don't convince. Just listen and take notes. You will learn more in that 10-minute conversation than in a dozen team meetings. All right. So now that we understand what drives resistance, let's talk about how to lead through it. I'm going to share a framework that I've developed over 15 plus years of change management work. I call it the 4 C's of change leadership: clarity, connection, capability, and celebration. Let's start with clarity. Most change initiatives fail because of a clarity gap. Leaders understand the why well before the change. They've been in the planning meetings, they've seen the data, they have debated the options, but your team is hearing about this for the first time, often in a way that feels vague or threatening. This is when you need to over communicate. I'm talking about repeating your message 7 to 10 times and in different formats.